Hey Royal Youth, and welcome to Term 2. Especially warm welcome to those who are joining us from across our 3 locations. And if you're here for the first time, we are so glad you could join us. Don't forget to share this video with your friends so they don't miss out. And also, if you haven't already, click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our new videos. We've got some fun new segments for you here tonight. We've got music, we've got new preaching series with Pastor Chris kicking it off, and we've also got connect groups at the end of our live. So if you aren't already connected in a group, just type in groups in the comment below and we'll have one of our leaders contact you. Let's go. Hey guys, so we're going to go into a game now called Burning Questions, and we've got Pastor Beck Wiggins here. So Beck, I'm just going to ask you a few questions and you can either choose to answer them or have a swig of some hot sauce. Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, awesome. So you are our incredible youth pastor with your husband Chris, and just this past February, you guys celebrated 6 years together.
Yes.
Is it true that Pastor Chris was your first boyfriend?
First proper boyfriend. Though I did have one boyfriend prior to that in grade 7 for 1 week.
Well, I don't know. That one might count as your first proper one. Does that mean he was your first kiss as well?
Yes.
It's a bit cute. So, word is, though, when you first caught feelings for Chris, you were very much in denial about them. Is it because he's younger than you?
I wasn't scared of being a cougar, no. It was because... yeah, I just didn't really know how to process those feelings. Like I said, he was my first proper boyfriend afterwards, but I'd never really liked anyone like that before, so I didn't really know what to do with those feelings.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, people say that guys' maturity levels are 5 years younger than their actual age. Has this fact affected your marriage at all?
I don't even know how to answer that, so I probably should take some hot sauce.
She's going for the hot sauce. She's going in. Oh, I can smell it from here too. It smells really tangy. Oh, you took that like a champ though.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
It's actually not too bad. It's not too bad.
All right. Well, let's move on from Chris. You are the mum of one of the most outgoing kids that we know, Leo Wiggins.
Yeah, it loves people.
Do you think Leo has a better chance of a footy career than his dad?
So just for some context, Chris used to play rugby when he was younger, and he was actually a pretty good player. But yeah, I reckon Leo might one-up him on that. He's a tank.
Yeah. Oh, Leo is massive. He was just in here before trying to move furniture around. He's got some guns on him, that boy.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard it here first. Leo Wiggins has a better chance at having a footy career than his dad. So thanks, Pastor Beck, for coming in and playing Burning Questions with us. And thanks for being so honest.
You're welcome.
Guys, let us know in the comments who you want to see next in our hot seat to play Burning Questions. But for now, we're going to go into a new segment called I So Impressed. Tonight we are kicking off a new segment called I So Impressed. While we're stuck in isolation, we'd love to see what you guys have been up to that'll leave us going, I so impressed. Whether you guys want to send in a video of you sharing an encouraging word to cheer us up, or showing us a hidden talent or a new skill you might have picked up while in isolation, or maybe even send in a video of you doing a random act of kindness. We would so love for you guys to be a part of this segment. So email through your videos at youth@c3bd.com. This week, for our first segment, we've actually got one of our leaders, Lachlan, dancing for us. It's crazy how they make it look so graceful. And they're not even like breaking out a sweat or anything. Just looks like he's punched himself in the face. Awesome. How good was that, guys? I don't know if I'm being a little bit biased, but I so impressed. Those dancing skills was something else. And we would love for you guys to send in your videos so we can be impressed by you guys as well. Who loved that new song that we played a few weeks back, written by our very own Millie Goodwin? It's such a bop, and we're just about to play it now. Let's go.
I raise my hands and lift my eyes to you, Lord. You're where my help comes from. To you I'm holding on. Even though I might feel alone or afraid, I know you won't run away. You are here to stay. I choose faith to fit beyond your way. I am unshakable, found in your perfect love. I choose faith to fit beyond your way. I am unshakable, found in your perfect love. You are my strength and the one I'm leaning on. Nothing can stand against the one who holds it all. Even though I might feel that I'm in my head, when I take your hand, you lift my head again. I choose faith to fit beyond your way. I am unshakable, found in your perfect love. I choose faith to fit beyond your way. I am unshakable, found in your perfect love. Peace fills this heart and mind, 'cause I'm not alone in this fight. You surround me on every side, watching over me both day and night. Peace fills this heart and mind, 'cause I'm not alone in this fight. You surround me on every side, watching over me both day and night. I choose faith to fit beyond your way. I'm unshakable, found in your perfect love. I choose faith to fit beyond your way. I'm unshakable, found in your perfect love.
Well, hey, Royal Youth, man, I love that song. I hope you love that song too. It's an amazing song written by Millie Goodwin and some of our team, so it's awesome. Well, tonight we are starting a new series, and for the next 5 weeks, we're going to be in this new series called Under the Surface, and we're going to be taking a look at who we are and our identity, what's under the surface. And I think it's a really important time that we talk about this, because there's so many things in our life that we can draw our identity from, right? There's people, and there might be friendships or relationships, you know, the people we hang out with, the people we sit with, that give us a certain type of status, and we can draw identity and meaning from. There's things like work. Maybe you've been working and that's not happening anymore, and we can get purpose from our work. There's so many things that we can draw our identity from. But in a moment like this, when everything's stripped away, when everything's been turned up on its head, we can be like, whoa, what's going on? Like those things I was drawing my identity from, my purpose, my meaning from aren't there anymore. And so not only can we end up with a crisis around us, but a crisis on the inside of us. And we can have a bit of an identity crisis, and we can start to go, where am I? What am I doing? But there is a place that we can find our true identity, and that is in God. And that identity in Him is not shaken, and it doesn't go up and down. It's not seasonal. It's not affected by the things around us. That's where we can find our true identity. And so over the next 5 weeks, we want to look at what our true identity is. Not just I like to play sport, or I'm interested in this, or these people said this about me, or this is what I think of myself. What does God say about us and our identity and our purpose and where we're heading? So we're going to cover that. And tonight, we're going to start with two that I think are so fundamental, so important that we get these, because everything else flows out from them. And so the first that we want to talk about tonight is that we are a masterpiece of God, and we are a child of God. We're a masterpiece. We're a creation. We're the workmanship of God, and we are a child of God. So Ephesians 2:10 says, "For we are His workmanship." Simply put, that's it. We are His workmanship. We are created by God. We weren't a mistake. Each and every one of us, with all our quirks, our talents, our strengths, we're all different, so different. We look different, we sound different, we're interested in different things. Each and every one of us, we were not a mistake. We're a masterpiece of God. We were created by God. I love that, because I feel so sad when I talk to people and they tell me that they believe that, we came from nothing. That we just kind of evolved from pond scum. We came from nothing, There was no design, there was no purpose to it. We came from nothing. Because that means that my life now means nothing. And that means I'm going nowhere, which is a horrible thought. And it's not the truth. The truth is you were created by God. You were knit together by God. And that means that your life has value. It means something. Your life has meaning. It means something that you are here, and that God also has a plan. You are going somewhere. He has a plan and a future for your life. You are handmade by God. And I love that, because I don't know about you, but some of the clothes that I buy, they might be, pretty cheap. And on the label, you'll see that they were made in a factory somewhere, mass-produced clothing. And so it's a bit cheap. But when things are handmade, how much more do you pay for that? When you buy something that's handmade, it's because so much more time and thought and planning, and someone intricately put that piece of clothing or whatever it is, that furniture, together. And it's the same with you. You're not cheap. You weren't mass-produced. You weren't cloned. You were specifically made by God. You're a masterpiece of God. You're the workmanship of God. You're not cheap. So don't let anyone tell you you're cheap. Don't let anyone make you feel cheap, because you're not. Your life has value. You have value. You're handmade by God, which means that you mean something. Your life has meaning. It's important that you're here. It's important that you're here on this earth right now. There is meaning to your life, and it means you are going somewhere. God has a plan. He has a purpose. If He handmade you with His own hands, He also has a great plan for your life. He created you with a future and a plan in mind. Psalm 139, verse 13 to 14 says, "You," meaning God, "formed my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well." And this psalmist, it says two pretty incredible things, and it's quite confident. The psalmist is saying this revelation that actually God knit me together. He made me. Every intricate part of my life, He made me. And what does that mean? Well, he actually has this revelation of, I'm wonderfully made. I'm fearfully made. There's no mistake in me. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And that's such a confidence that you and I can have in our life, that no matter what someone else says, we can be confident that we are a masterpiece. We're the workmanship of God. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Because here's the thing, trends come and go, right? Like every week it seems like something else is the trend, and we're being told that this is the way we should look, and this is the way that we should dress or do our makeup or those kinds of things. And then next month it's completely different. And next month the idea of what beautiful is or what good looking is changes again. But that's not how it is with God. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are a timeless masterpiece of God, and he's proud of what he has made with you. So, seasons come, trends come and go, things might be up and down, but you are still a masterpiece of God. You're a timeless and wonderful creation of God. The second thing after this, so we're a masterpiece of God. We were created by God. And there was a time that when we were created by God, there was a time where humans, we walked with God. We had perfect relationship with him. But then through man's mistakes, our mistakes, sin entered the world, and that separated us from God. And if you haven't watched our Easter clip yet, I'd encourage you to go back a couple of weeks and watch that, and we talk about that whole story. But that sin separates us from God. But we have been given the opportunity to become children of God again. So John 1:12 says, to all who did receive Jesus as their Lord, receive him into their life, and all who believed in his name and believed in what he did for them upon the cross, dying for their sins, God gave the right to become children of God. You and I have the opportunity to be children of God. See, my son Leo, 1 year old, but because he's my son, he has access to me and access to everything I have, right? He has someone that he can run to, right? He has someone that he can run and cry to. He can have fun with. He has someone that's going to support him, that's going to encourage him, that's going to teach him and guide him and be there for him and give him opportunity in life. And the same is with our God. You might think about your upbringing and your childhood, or maybe your parents, and maybe you don't have a great memory or about your parents, and that you don't think that you had a great mom or a great dad, or maybe you do. Maybe you grew up with a great mom, a great dad. But the thing is, in both of those cases, our parents, because they're human, they're not perfect, and they're going to make mistakes. But the reality is that each and every one of us have a perfect Father in heaven, and he loves us perfectly, and he wants to be there for us, and he wants to encourage us, and he wants to give us opportunity in life as well, and he wants to teach us and guide us through life, not just see if we can make it. He wants to be with us every step of the way. And he loves you more than anyone in this world ever could. He loves you more than anyone ever could, and he'll never leave you, and he'll never forsake you. Deuteronomy 31:6 says, be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid or terrified, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you, and he will never forsake you. That's the type of Father we have. That's the type of Father we can have as a child of God, someone that will never leave us, never forsake us. He can give us confidence. We can stand confident. We can stand boldly. We can be courageous because we have this loving Father. And he wants to guide you, and he wants to teach you. And all we must do is believe in Jesus and in what he has done for us. And we can have access to God, and we can have a relationship with God. And so the first thing, we're a masterpiece of God. You're a masterpiece of God, a timeless masterpiece of God, the workmanship of God. And you were also created to have a relationship with him and be a child of God. And so I'm just wondering tonight, maybe there's been some questions around that and some questions around about your identity. And I think this is where it starts, knowing that you are a masterpiece of God. You need to know that, and that you're also a child of God. And maybe you have a relationship with God, but you're maybe like a little bit uncertain. But you just need to be reminded tonight that you're a child of God and what that means. You have access to the love of a perfect Father. But maybe you don't have a relationship with God. Maybe this is the first time you're hearing about God and about his love towards you. You got to know that he created you, he loves you, and he wants a relationship with you. And you can be a child of God too. And so I just want to lead you in a prayer tonight that invites him in and that makes you a child of God, that invites him into your life, where we receive Jesus for what and all he has done on the cross for us, and that we can become a child of God. So maybe you want to pray this prayer. Maybe you want to close your eyes if you feel comfortable and pray this prayer from your heart. And just say this after me. Say, Jesus, tonight, I give you my life. I thank you that you died for me and that you rose again. I ask you that you would forgive me of my sins, wash me clean, make me new, make me your child. Tonight, I decide to follow you all the days of my life. Amen. So good. Well, if you made that decision, that's an incredible decision that you've made. Please reach out to us in the comments or DM us on Instagram or one of our accounts. We'd love to support you. We'd love to stand with you. We'd love to send you something as well that'll help you, a book called Following Jesus that will help you and answer some of your questions about who Jesus is and what it means to follow him. And so we'd love to do that. But that's it for this week. Know this. With everything else going around, with everything else might be up and down and a bit shaky, you have an unshakable identity in God. And the first things is that you are a masterpiece of God and that you are a child of God. And I can't wait for next week for you to join us, and we'll keep on with this new series of Under the Surface. We'll see you later.
Awesome. Well, what a great night, guys. An awesome way to kick off term 2. Now, within the next coming weeks, we want to kick off another new segment called Say Yes. And basically what we need you to do is to submit a dare to any one of our leaders, and you guessed it, they've got to say yes. So it could be a TikTok dance, it could be a fitness challenge, or any other challenge you can think of. Just submit it to our youth email address or our youth Instagram account, and we'll see our leaders doing your challenges in the next coming weeks. So now we're going to kick off Connect groups. And if you're not already a part of a group and you haven't been contacted by a leader yet, just type in groups in the chat below and we'll get someone to contact you. We'll see you guys next week.